And then we just did this exercise of like, okay, so what is the minimal number of people that we would need to keep the service up 100%? And then next, what is the minimal number of people that we would need to be fully be in compliance with our regulators? We're a highly regulated business, so that one's extremely important to us, and legal, obviously. And then third, what is the minimal set of folks that we need in order to grow, to fulfill our commitments we've made to the street, but also rebuild the company as an intelligence?
He did the maths over Christmas. Minimum number of people. He got a number. He went with it. 4,000 people. One day, gone. 6 weeks later, his engineers started coming back. This is either the most important AI story of the year or the most expensive lesson a CEO has ever given us. I'm going to show you both. The Sequoia podcast, the SEC filing, the LinkedIn posts from the people who got fired, the Bloomberg analysis that called the whole thing AI washing, and the verdict, plus 5 lessons every business owner needs before copying any of it. Subscribe if you're new. Let's go.
You know, again, since last year, I've just had this existential dread and also like hope and optimism in the same hour, in the same thought process of like, what is even a company going forward? What are these structures going forward? And this is the only like durable one structure that I could actually imagine lasting for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it was coming from a place of like, wow, is our company just going to be completely irrelevant? You know, in the next coming years. It was something, you know, December of last year is when the models really got a like noticeable upgrade from being able to be really good at building prototypes and greenfield efforts to like understanding like large code bases and legacy code bases like our own. There was, you know, hallucination wasn't much of a topic in terms of like the coding ability, and the tool harnesses, we became suddenly very mature, like just in that month. And it just like everyone went home for the holidays and everyone played with these tools and they were surprised at how capable they were. We've gotten into structures that, you know, we've borrowed and iterated on a little bit over 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And now we're facing this, I think a completely foundational moment in being able to question every element of how we work. And the one that I think is questioned the least is probably the hierarchy. Our max depth right now is probably 5.
Okay.
Folks between me and anyone in the company. I would want to get that down to 2 to 3 this year. And in the most ideal case, you know, there is no layer. Everyone in the company reports to me, and that would be, you know, all 6,000 of the company. And that feels somewhat, you know, ridiculous when you consider like the old structure, but when you consider that the majority of our work is going through this intelligence layer, it's a lot more manageable. You can build these world models for companies, like treat the company as a mini-AGI, for instance, an artificial general intelligence, because it really is. I mean, if you look at a company, it is an intelligence, but it hasn't been structured in the way that's the most efficient or the least lossy in terms of information flow and what people can actually do within the company. So
6,000 direct reports, no managers, AI as the connective tissue, a company run as a single intelligence. The ambition is real. This isn't a CEO cutting costs and dressing it up in AI language. He's redesigning what a company is from the operating system up. The question is whether you can do that to 4,000 people's lives and still be right. Jack Dorsey, in a shareholder letter, wrote, "Intelligence tools have changed what it means to build and run a company. A significantly smaller team using the tools we're building can do more and do it better.
If we didn't do something like this, I just imagine like every year it's a 10% riff or 20% riff or whatever it is. And like, that is just the most demoralizing, like crappy, like non-creative building of a company ever. And it's all, you know, with your backs against the wall, and like, it just feels like losing constantly. And I had a conversation with the board, like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to be at a company like that. Like it's just, it doesn't make sense. It's soul crushing, you know, and it's just not inspiring.
The stock jumped 24% the same day he fired 4,000 people. That's the whole tension of this story in one number. The market didn't mourn those jobs, it celebrated them. Investors read AI-driven efficiency and priced in a company that does the same revenue with half the cost base. Now, Jack just used the word RIF, reduction in force, corporate language for a layoff round. Hold that word. We come back to it. Because his point is the part the headlines missed. He's not saying AI made the cuts necessary, he's saying the alternative. A 10% layoff every year, then 20%, then again forever, would have been worse. So he did it once. You can disagree with the maths. The argument is honest, and his prediction was specific. Within a year, every CEO, same call. 4 days after the announcement, LinkedIn, Andrew Harvard, design engineer at Block, fired. He posts, Block leadership informed me that my layoff was due to a clerical error. They offered me the opportunity to return. A clerical error in a 4,000-person decision. Then Richard Hesse, technical lead. He came to Block through the Weebly acquisition. His entire team was cut. Hesse was the only person left running infrastructure that customers depended on. He told his manager he'd quit unless they rehired his team. They did. By mid-March, at least 4 people were back. Engineering, recruiting, creative. Block called the original cuts clerical and administrative errors. Then Bloomberg landed. 3,835 employees end of 2019. 10,205 by December 2025. 166% growth in 6 years. All of it during the zero interest rate era. The same pandemic era overhiring every tech company did. And the AI tools Jack credits, they only got good in December 2025. The hiring started in 2020. That's the AI washing case. Cuts that were coming anyway, dressed in better language. But the Dorsey story is more interesting than that framing.
I wanted to make sure that if we knew that this was what our company was going to be in the future, I didn't want to have to do it with our backs against the wall. We're a public company, and there's various challenges there, and other companies will probably get to this realization at some point. I don't want to react to that. I want to be ahead of it, because then we can do it with a lot more integrity. We can do it with a lot more generosity for the people that we're asking to leave, and even for the people that we're asking to stay. And we're not just reacting into something mediocre. We're acting towards excellence, and like, that's just the tone that we wanted to set.
The honesty here is rare. Most CEOs who cut this hard blame market conditions, hide behind restructuring language, drag it out across quarters. Jack did it in one move, named AI directly, predicted everyone else would follow, and admitted publicly some of it was wrong. Courage or naivety? The Q2 numbers tell us which. And he set the proof point himself. $1 million in gross profit per employee. That was 2025, $2 million by end of 2026. Double the output, half the people. If he hits it, every CEO follows. If he misses, he just gave the industry a blueprint that doesn't work. Was he right? 3 answers. On the thesis, yes, probably. AI tools really did cross a threshold in late 2025. Jack said it himself, not the prototypes. The legacy code bases, hallucination dropping out, tool harnesses maturing. That is a real shift. The direction of his bet is almost certainly right. On the execution, messier than advertised. Clerical errors, engineers threatening to quit, a technical lead who was the only one keeping the lights on. Those aren't rounding errors. They're signals the minimum headcount exercise was done too fast, and critical knowledge walked out with the people who left. On the prediction, too early to call. He said every CEO would follow within a year. The ones who rush in without doing the December homework, the real reckoning with what AI actually does in their specific business. Those are the ones who get the expensive version of this lesson, which is exactly why the next 2 minutes matter. And now I want to extract 5 lessons from Jack Dorsey's interview for any business owner and entrepreneur watching right now. Let's get into it. Lesson 1. Do your December homework before your backs are against the wall. Jack's most important point wasn't about layoffs. It was about timing. He didn't want to make this decision with his back against the wall. Most business owners only run headcount exercises when cash flow forces them to. By then, you have no time, no options, and no choice. Run the numbers this quarter while you still have the luxury of time. Lesson 2. Run the 3 constraint headcount exercise on paper. The framework Jack used wasn't about how many people to cut. It was 3 strict constraints. The minimum team needed to keep the service running, the minimum to stay compliant, and the minimum to hit growth targets. The number you arrive at is your true core team. Everything above that is a choice. Lesson 3. Distinguish the thesis from the execution. Jack was right that AI crossed a threshold, but his execution was messy. Clerical errors, forced rehires, and key systems left to a single person. Most business owners copying this will get the idea right, but the execution wrong. The hard part is knowing exactly what each person knows that nobody else does. Map that out before you cut, not after. Lesson 4. The real pitch isn't AI, it's avoiding the annual layoff. The strongest line in the interview had nothing to do with AI. It was about the alternative, the slow bleed of a 10% layoff every single year. If you have to make deep cuts, that is your pitch. Tell your team you are doing this once in one move, so you never have to do it again. That is honesty. Everything else is corporate jargon. Lesson 5. Ask the mini-AGI question about your own company. Jack believes every business is already an intelligence that just isn't structured efficiently. Ask this of your own company this week. If every message, document, and meeting were instantly queryable by anyone, what jobs would still need to exist? Answering that is your most important strategic exercise of the year. If this has been useful, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below. Which of these 5 lessons applies most to where you are right now? See you on the next one.